radio trailer, I mean.
All right.
It's kind of bare bones at the time. I was going to put a second one above it, kind of like perpendicular. And it was like this is going to be like the party deck. And then like one floor above this is going to be the second one. And that was going to be the broadcast building itself.
Mm.
So it's coming along nicely. I try to make it look as actually trailery as possible. You know, what with the sheet metal walls and shit.
It's good so far.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that a drop? Oh, that's a rain collector. I thought that was like an airdrop for a sec.
Yeah, these guys are quick about that. This is the inside of it. I built a safety wall just to bury the cupboard, but because I'm an idiot, I can no longer get to it to give anybody permission.
Well, you know, sometimes things come at a price.
Yeah, safety's definitely paramount in PlayRust Public Radio. You know, with all the sharp, jagged corners of this thing, and this is the sign. My graphic settings aren't that great, and I had to jack them up just to get the sign done. It's like on the bottom, they are you just can't see the sign when you paint it. I'm probably gonna bitch about that at some point on the radio. But that's the structure so far.
Looks pretty good though.
Yeah.
I like it.
We can go over the trailer to broadcast. Now for those of you who didn't come here through Mr. Alligator's, may I call you Argyle?
Yeah, you can just call me Argyle. It's
I'm gonna
a lot
call you
easier.
Argyle.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know who Mr. Argyle Alligator is, Mr. Alligator is he is a very famous television reporter, and he may have chose the wrong medium, but I am still definitely a fan of his work. Mr. Alligator, what made you become an investigative journalist?
Well, you know, in college, I took a 1-credit elective course in journalism, and I decided that was enough to start my own reporting career and go out in the world.
I see. You are a very very well-rounded individual. You're a dinosaur tamer. You're a terrible cop, and I hope you never pull me over.
Oh yeah.
You're a great journalist as far as television is concerned. And tell me more about just what it is that makes you the alligator that made you today.
That's like a I think it's like a convoluted question here.
Yes,
I don't know.
But basically sum up yourself for people, so people who don't know who you are caught up.
Speaking plainly, I guess I would say I'm more of a I'm an impromptu role player. I pick various roles, usually mundane ones, aside from being things like an astronaut or a dinosaur tamer or things of that, or like a pirate, and I'll usually jump into whatever game, usually mainly Rust, and play out that role and drag unsuspecting players into the story that I've crafted for myself. And that's more or less how I take things. I'm best well known as being a journalist or a reporter, but I have done things like radio before. I was a radio host at one point.
Yes, I saw that. You were a radio host, granted, behind a camera.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, but, you know, I did what I had to.
It was a great attempt. I was actually very happy and entertained with that episode. I can relate to the impromptu roleplay. I mean, I am role-playing a guy in a trailer.
Yeah, it's a nice trailer.
Broadcasting it's a terrible trailer. It's a trailer. There's no good trailers.
It's a, you know, I mean,
it's got a viewing room.
It does what it needs.
That lets people shoot me in the face.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about this, but I mean, we got these Anokas, so we'll fire and wait and fire again.
Yes, that is pretty much what we'll do. How much time does it actually take you between like recording a video and editing it? For how much time do you spend on each video? Because I know that's an involved process.
Well, let me see here. Depending on the server I'm on how populated it is, probably recording it can take a few hours, probably 2 to 3 at least, because just between trying to find people and get good reactions, because 90% of the reactions I get are mostly just a shot in the face or no reply and then run away. So that takes a bit, and then the editing process probably takes about 30 minutes to an hour. It used to take longer when I had to do subtitles for everything, but the voice in Rust is much clearer now, so I don't really have to subtitle as much as I did in the past.
Yeah, I was gonna comment on the subtitles. I was gonna ask what happened to them, but I understand what happened to them. I thought they were like, there's something about subtitles in your own language that's just funny.
Yeah, people have said that to me, that the subtitles made it a lot more humorous. I might bring them back at one point. It just takes me so long to do them, and it's such a tedious process that I'm just like, it like frustrates me when like I misspell a word and have to go back and change everything, or like something happens in the editing process and then all the subtitles move, and it's just it's a mess.
Hey, that's the quaintness of a one-credit journalism degree.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what they get. So you have obviously a good, what, almost 2 years now worth of videos on your channel?
I would say more like a year. My channel's been around for longer, but I don't think my channel really took off until January of 2014. So maybe a little over a year now.
That was your first community update, if my memory isn't broken like usual, right?
It might have been. That was when I first did the Rust interviews.
Yeah, I think that's actually how I first saw your videos, and that's kind of like, your videos kind of inspired me in some way to do this, you know, in the proper medium of radio.
I'm glad I could help.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So of all the, you know, years worth of videos on your channel, which one do you think was your favorite? Like, just either making or just your favorite in general?
Well, I think my favorite Rust one is the pretending to be a blind person, because
I didn't see that one.
It just takes people by surprise more than anything that I've ever done. Like, pretending to be someone blind in Rust, people are like, "What the? You're playing a video game? How are you blind?" And I was like, "I'm blind, man. I can't see anything. Like, please lead me to a tree so I can start to harvest. If you just get me somewhere, I can do it." And people are like, "You're gonna die. You're blind. This is Rust." I'm like, "Look, I can do it. Just believe in me." So like, I would get people to help me, or like, some guy asked me if I was carrying a gun, and I was like, "I'm blind. I can't. How would I use a gun?" And just ridiculous things like that. But I think my favorite video out of all of the ones I've done is probably when I pretended to be a noir detective in Gary's mod Dark RP, because the whole server eventually started joining me on this ridiculous storyline.
Really?
To kill the one guy. I saw the
beginning of that. I think I saw the beginning of it.
It
but
was
I didn't
great.
finish it.
I just the involvement that they gave me was just fantastic, and all of it was impromptu. I didn't plan any of it. I didn't even know these people, and I was watching, like, if you don't know, in Dark RP they have this update that comes up on the bottom left or right hand corner on some servers that say like, Billy has become a cop or something, and I would just like, I would watch that and I would be like, Buster's new to the force, like when I would see it come on, and the guy would be like, what? And then like I would just drag him into the story, and it worked out so perfectly.
YouTube's acting a little weird when it comes to subscriptions.
Yeah, it's they call it sub burn, where it's even though you're subscribed to somebody, if you start watching other channels, those other channels will start being promoted to you, and you won't get notified when the people you are actually subscribed to start putting out more videos.
And there's no really easy or user-friendly way of just looking at your own subscribers' stream. I think there's a like option at like the top, but it's like awkwardly designed.
Yeah, it's weird, but hopefully when YouTube Gaming gets established and they'll have that streaming feature, there will be a portion of YouTube that is just dedicated to gaming, so it will be a lot more streamlined and easier for people to get to the channels that they want. Because right now gaming is the biggest thing on YouTube out of all of the
is blowing up.
categories, I believe.
I thought about doing a YouTube show wherein I just get absolutely massacred in Rust for like 5 minutes, and then the next 5 minutes after that is just a time lapse of me drinking beer on my couch.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too hard to get done.
That would be what my Let's Play Rust turns into. But anyway, my last question is, what do you do when you're not filming games? Like, like, do you play other games?
Yeah, I actually I kind of have ADHD when it comes to video games. I play them pretty on and off, spontaneously. I don't know, on an average day I might play like 4 to 5 different games for like a little bit at a time. I play a lot of like Heroes of the Storm, and I jump on and off of like Dirty Bomb and things like that. I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube and Netflix, and then I do a lot of schoolwork. So it's a pretty riveting life here for Argyle Alligator.
So are you going to an actual college?
I go to law school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's basically like grad school. It's a step above college. I've already got my 4-year degree. Oh, go ahead.
I actually did have one more question.
Yeah, yeah.
You've seen Rust evolve from Legacy just like I have, and actually having looked back on Legacy, I can't believe we used to play that game. like looking back on how it looked, and I have fond memories of Legacy, but it was so bare bones, and Rust has changed so much since experimental and now the full version came out. What do you how do you feel just in the current state of Rust and where it's going?
I think Rust is going in a really good way. I know there's a lot of like still like super Legacy diehard activists who are like, "I'll never touch the new Rust. I hate it." But honestly, I think the new Rust is going in the right direction, and I think it's at a point where the vision that Gary and the Face Punch team really wanted this game to be is starting to show more than it has ever in the past. And Legacy was great for the time, and I had a lot of really good moments in Legacy.
And it was absolutely a early access
Oh,
game. That was when early access really did mean, hey, we're making this game.
Yeah.
Come join us. Give us feedback. You're testers, And the culture that's changed since, and like, it's only been a year since that early access thing blew up.
It feels so much longer.
I know. I keep looking at old videos, and they're only a year old still.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the only thing that I think I would miss between Legacy and the new Rust is that I felt that the map in Legacy was a lot easier to navigate where you were going, so you could run into much more bigger groups of players, and there was more of a sense of community. But I mean, people still find that in the new Rust. Like on this server, at least in PlayRust Public, I've seen like a lot of the things that everybody on the server does and all the different clans, and make these really cool community buildings and have like events like the pool party and stuff that we've done. So people definitely find it.
It's this real kind of tongue-in-cheek pseudo roleplay vibe that brought me here,
Yeah, same. It definitely drew me in.
Like we're not role-playing. Like role-playing communities, I love them, but they tend to be real toxic. But this place is just so, like, just organic. They just do what seems fun at the time.
Yeah, exactly, and that's a good thing, because I have been involved in some roleplay communities where the hell is that red light? I'm sorry.
That's the airdrop.
Oh, okay. I was like, somebody coming.
Oh yeah, the popo's coming to break up our pirate radio station. But I didn't talk to the FCC about this.
Yeah, I've been in some roleplay communities, and it gets real heated real fast. And the problem with a roleplay community is that, like, everybody wants to be like the cool, like, Master Chief, Lone Ranger, like Kratos kind of guy, like where they're like super tough and never lost a battle in their life and like all this shit. But when their base gets raided or they die or something bad happens to them, they get really pissy and they try to throw the rulebook at the person that gave them a bad time. So roleplay communities get very iffy, but the way that they handle it here on the PlayRust server is just so lighthearted,
Yeah.
and they just don't give a fuck what happens. Like, I remember
Exactly.
I was at an event that they did that actually got, like, attacked by, like, some rival clan, and a bunch of people died, and nobody gave a shit. They just fought back and had a good time, even though the event was getting messed up. And I remember, I think at the beginning of the pool party, I didn't put this in the video, but there was people coming in and just saying a whole bunch of racial slurs and just being really, really racist.
I can see why you didn't put that in the video.
Yeah, it was because that was when the different skin tones came into Rust for the first time, and they were like just being very racist and just.
I mean, that could be expected from just the violence that is the internet.
Yeah, but like they didn't let that ruin their time. They had a good time, got those guys out of the server, and that was that. It was just it's a good community over here.
Oh, what's your what's your favorite Rust server?
I usually hop between this one and Rustified are pretty much my main ones. I go to PlayRust, or I go to Rust Official Texas too, just because there's a lot of people on it, and most of the people there speak English. I find more luck on English-speaking servers than European-speaking servers.
Like,
European
German
speaking isn't a real
European
thing.
Or like British English?
Just European in general. I usually go to the British ones, but like even then, a lot of people from different speaking countries will come on there because the ping is better. I know European is a language I screwed up when I said. People are commenting on that, but
Arica.
Yeah, they
European
I don't know. They're a lot more.
We speak English. What do they speak?
Whatever they Russian, German, whatever it is. They're a lot more hostile, I think, because of the language barrier. But I've run into that a couple times where it's more of a problem, or they're unwilling to role play with me. So I try to usually stick to the English speaking servers. But yeah, I think this one and Rustified are the main servers I really go on.
That seems to be all the questions I have for the day. If you want to give a final note, I have to run grab my cat because he's stuck in a closet somewhere. I'm going to be 2 seconds. Do you want to give a anecdote or story real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Like, tell us about a video that didn't get put up for various reasons.
Okay, all right. I've got one for sure. When I was doing Rust a lot in Legacy, we wanted to do a whole bunch of Rust events, and one of them that we put together was a Cowboys and Indians event with my friends Baron Von Games and Fly Daily, and another guy called Krebs Coho, which I think is called Dion DeBlanc now. And we basically built a like an Alamo-looking structure in the middle of a field. And I know the Alamo was Mexicans versus people from the U.S. and not Cowboys and Native Americans, but we did what we did. And we built this, and we had like 5 or 6 people designated as cowboys in this Alamo, and they had like bolt-action rifles and revolvers and pipe shotguns. And then we had a large group of people, like 20 of them being the Native Americans, with bows and arrows and hatchets. And we had the Native Americans rush the base, trying to break into the base to kill the cowboys inside. It was just like a base rush event. I put this video up, and I wanted some good music that really set the tone, so I looked for Native American like dubstep music, and I found some from this group, and I put it in the video. I put the video up. A day later, I remember this because it happened during class. A day later, a guy who is one of the creators of the music comments on the video calling me a racist, and that I am shitting on his culture, and that I used his music in a racial way, objectifying Native Americans and calling them Indians was one of the worst things I ever could have done. And that, like, all of this just, like, blatant slander and, like, all of this crazy stuff just, like, yelling at me and cursing me out and posting on his Twitter that I was objectifying his music and his culture and all this stuff. And it was like, it's just an event through a video game. Like, I didn't even think that I was offending anyone, like, doing this. So, I mean, he was the creator of the music, so per his wishes, I took the video down. I still have a copy of it. If I get a website, I'm going to put it up there, and I'm just going to list it as a parody, so there's nothing he can do about it. And I'm also going to post an instructional about the story behind it, because I think it is a really cool event, and I would like the footage up there. But I had to take it down due to that, and that had to be a month or two after I did the Rust interviews, and I was like freaking out because I was like, oh shit, like, what's going to happen to my channel? Am I going to get flagged for racism when I wasn't even being a racist? And like, I tried to apologize to the guy and like talk to him, but he wouldn't talk to me. The only thing he said was, thank you for taking the video down so fast. That was all he said to me, and that was that. So
wow, that's sad. You know, you weren't even trying.
I was just trying to make something entertaining. I did not think I was being offensive or racist in any way, and I also don't even think he watched the video. I just think he saw the title and saw that his music was in it and saw that it was called Cowboys and Indians, and that triggered him. I don't even think he understood what the video was about. I don't think he watched the video. It was just a mess, and I couldn't do anything about it. But when I get a website, I'm going to post that, and I'm going to post all of the other videos I had to take down for music copyright, because I have a lot of like really dumb shit that I've done. So I'll get that up there at some point when I get a website.
All right. Any final comments? Anything you want to say to address the loyal listeners before we head off and into the next segment?
Yeah. If you're subscribed to a YouTube channel and you like your content, and I'm not just saying this for me, I'm saying it for anybody you're subscribed to, I would say check their channel weekly, if not daily, because YouTube is going to subburn you no matter what you're doing. So if you really care about a channel, just check up on them weekly or daily and make sure you're checking out their stuff. I say this for all YouTubers. So I just be careful of that subburn.
That's absolutely a valid statement. I recently thought about honestly one of my favorite YouTubers, and I'm like, man, why the fuck haven't they been posting on YouTube lately?
Yeah.
I checked their channel, and they've been uploading this whole time, and I think the subburn has actually killed off a couple of my favorite my favorite YouTubers. I mean, these are people with like 2-3 million subs who shouldn't die out in 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but I really hope YouTube fixes that subburn.
We'll see. Maybe the gaming will change it, but I don't know. I don't think I've been hit too hard by it, but I have seen people, like when I post a Rust video, like they'll say, "Glad to see you back in Rust, man," and I'm like, I've been covering Rust continually. I don't.
I was gonna comment on that actually. I was gonna like before we came across the topic of subburn and before you named it for me.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you have like I think it's like around 27,000 subs, but each year videos only seems to get about 1,000 views, and that seems like
I have about 14,000 right now.
Oh, 14?
Yeah.
And still, I mean, that's less than 10% viewer retention, like to
Well,
sub
that's normal.
It is?
Your view retention per sub will normally be about 10-15%. Like my friend who has almost about 200,000 right now gets about 20K per video. That's normal. Like even PewDiePie, someone who has like 32 million subscribers will get like 900,000 to 1 million per video. Mm.
But it's been absolutely great having you on the show.
Yeah,
you're
thanks.
welcome back anytime. And yeah, I hope to see you again sometime soon on this show.
Yeah, whenever there's events, Ruigi lets me know, and 9 times out of 10 I hop on unless I'm doing something else at the time.
All right, I could probably give some live radio coverage of those events.
Yeah,
as
why
well.
not? Why not?
If you guys like this video, which I'm sure you did, you came here because Alligator mentioned the stream. If you guys like the video, go ahead and check out his YouTube channel. Like always, this will be on a video at some point in the hopefully near future.
Mm-hmm.
After some gratuitous editing, I'm sure.
Well, I am recording it. I mean, we're just standing here, so it might not be that interesting, but I'm just gonna put it up as a meta video.
This is where you say, if you want the full interview, go listen to the
if you want, if you want the full interview, you can always check him at mixlr.com/Drostan. I'm gonna put that in the description as well, so that will be up there.
Very cool, very cool.
So, and you should give him a follow. He does this. Well, how often do you do this show?
I do it Monday through Thursday. At least I attempt to. I almost got called into work, like with only being able to get 3 hours of sleep today. But luckily, my boss found another guy because I was about to tell him, "Look, dude, that's impossible for me to not fall asleep at work or die on the road." But thankfully, that didn't happen, and we got you on the show today.
Yeah.
At some point in the near future, I'm going to finally get around to editing these and putting them up on SoundCloud. And I do have a YouTube channel. I haven't ever done anything with it, so these will be the first videos I do. I'm going to put some fancy graphic in a audio waveform, wherever the hell they're called, and do that for the YouTube and just get them so people can listen to reruns.
Yeah, so that'll be up, guys. He's also on the PlayRust Public server. I'll put the IP for that as well as in the description. You should check out his show. He does, I didn't record the first part, but he does Rust updates as well, letting you know of what's happening through the Reddit, through the PlayRust website, and everything they're adding to the game, and anything controversial as well that happens in the Rust community.
And I'm more than willing and happy to cover other servers if someone brings that to my attention. This is just the server I happen to play on and know more about. And after this, I'm going to do a segment I call the dissection, where I just completely tear apart a mechanic or just a concept in the game and just overanalyze the living shit out of it. So, if you guys want to hear that, stick around. Otherwise, do your own thing. It's been great having you on the show, Alligator.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, you take it easy.
Yeah, you too.
If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. Follow me at Twitter to get in contact with me or more updates, and join my Steam group to be part of the illustrious Swamp Society community. Thanks, everyone.